Animated Anarchy series presents the Animated Showdown.
What's up, everybody? We are here on your lunch break. It is Wednesday afternoon as you are listening to this. This is the Animated Showdown, episode 11 here on the Animated Anarchy series. I, of course, am your host, Dutchie, joined as always by Sean.
What's up?
Wildcard Dave.
Let's get it.
Eric, of course, still in Australia, so that still means I'm filling in as one of the judges. And tonight you'll get to witness, today I should say, you're going to witness probably Dave's third heart attack on this show.
I actually like both of those shows that you pinned up against each other. So
yeah, so it's not going to.
But one's my favorite. One's my favorite.
So, all right. So we have on this episode, we have American Dragon Jake Long versus the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Jimmy Neutron versus the Mummy animated series. Boruto, Naruto Next Generations versus Men in Black, the animated series. And the main event is Jujutsu Kaisen versus Naruto. If you've never seen the show before, we're going to have 5 categories that will be drawn from the randomizer. Then we are going to go through and give our pick as to which show will win each category. If you win 3 categories to nothing, 30 points. 3-1 is 20. 3-2 is 10. And then the 10 points for the winner, 5 points for the loser. If you are swept, you lose 10 points. So now let's go ahead and let's get to that randomizer. All right, what are we hoping for?
Animation.
Theme.
Character development.
Okay. Theme song. And you said, Dave, you said animation quality, right?
Would be nice.
Yep. Yeah, I'd like animation quality.
All right.
Or animation style. Rather.
Okay. Here we go. And we are going to, well, Sean, you got your way again. You want a theme song and you got it. But we also get humor, animation, impact, and fan base. All right, how do we feel?
Okay. I feel okay. Feel okay.
Sean's just like, all right, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Dave's just like, it could be better. All right, so humor, animation, and cultural impact are making a second appearance this week. And then, let's see, humor, animation, impact, fan base. And then, now, do these categories change how you feel about these battles at all?
Nope.
A little bit. A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
All right, we'll go ahead and we'll get started. We're going to start off with American Dragon Jake Long versus the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Now, it is Disney Channel versus Cartoon Network. First category is theme song. Jake Long had a pretty catchy theme song. Billy and Mandy really didn't have one. They had more of an intro. So, Captain Headband, we're going to let you start first.
Yeah, I went with American Dragon Jake Long.
Okay.
I just thought it was a little more catchy. Like you said, Billy and Mandy, there wasn't really any, music. It was kind of just like a what I lost the word I was trying to use. Eerie, kind of like music in the
Yeah.
background, and that's about it.
Right. All right, Sean.
I also have Jake Long for that exact reason. Billy and Mandy wasn't much of a theme song as it was an introduction
Yeah.
or like a precursor, I guess you could say. But
Yeah.
Jake Long was just catchy. It was good. I liked it.
Yeah. All right. Oh, by the way, American Dragon Jake Long in the division of Joshua Kogovan, Dave's second cousin or uncle, or however he's related to Dave. I forget. That's why I named off a bunch of. All right. And, huh?
That's okay. He would be like my second cousin, but I looked at him more of like he's an uncle type deal.
Gotcha.
So,
All right. And then the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy is in the division of Nick Visco. So this is actually, Dave, I think this is actually the third time that this particular person, Nick Visco, is going against one of your family members.
oh,
Again, I didn't do it on purpose. It just happened to go that way. But I think this is his first time going against Josh. All right. So Jake Long up 1-0. Humor is the next category. And both shows had some humor to it. I mean, I remember both of them making me laugh. But I went with Billy and Mandy on this one because sometimes Jake was just cringy.
yeah.
So I went with, even though, in a lot of other categories, I think Jake Long is the better show, but there's a few that Billy and Mandy does edge out on, and this is one of them. So, Dave, you're up.
Yeah, I thought Billy and Mandy had the better humor here as well. Especially with like the morbid humor of like Grimm being enslaved by two children.
Yeah.
And the things he would say. Because of that, I thought it was kind of hilarious. So I went with Billy and Mandy here.
All right. And Sean, go ahead.
I also went with Billy and Mandy. I think the humor just from Billy being like a dim-witted, happy-go-lucky kid every day, and then like Mandy just being a cynical little girl, always miserable in a sense, or sounding miserable, and just has no remorse. It's just funny to me.
Yeah. All right. So we started off. It's 1-1. Animation style is the next category. Disney animation versus Cartoon Network animation. Who did it better? Sean, you're up.
I think Jake Long did it better. I think the animation was cleaner. I like the glow behind some of the characters in a sense, and just like a lot of detailed and just nice. I think Billy and Mandy just kind of were symmetrical, symmetrical, or one-dimensional, I should say. Jake Long, obviously, he transforms into something other than a human. So I just think that takes a little more skill.
So I think I went with Billy and Mandy on this one because I think in Jake Long's second season, they switched up the animation a little bit.
They definitely did. They got a new director.
Yeah.
I didn't watch any of the second season yet.
I liked the animation, though, for that first season. I didn't think it really needed to change.
No, not at all.
So I went with Billy and Mandy just because I feel like they messed with something that you probably, even though I think a lot of people do think that.
I did not know that. I didn't know they changed.
Yeah, they changed the design of the dragon that he transformed into and everything.
Yeah, I only watched a couple of the season ones, so
yeah.
Good to know for next time.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, so that's why I went with Billy and Mandy. And Dave, guess what? You're breaking a tie.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you here, Doug. I went with Billy and Mandy just because of the downgrade of what they did to the animation after season 1.
Okay.
It was definitely a downgrade. I felt like they made the characters a lot simpler. They made the dragon, they they downgraded the dragon. Like season 1, he looked awesome. Like I thought, that dragon looked cool. It perfect. Season 2, I'm like, what happened? So
Yeah.
Billy and Mandy here.
All right. So Billy and Mandy are up 2-1. They can win it in the next category, which is cultural impact. Which show had the bigger cultural impact? And Dave, I'm going to start with you this time.
I went with the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I don't think it's like a huge, groundbreaking difference of impact here, but I feel like they have a little more influence, a little more comedy that hit people, that brought them along. I feel like they had a little more impact than Jake Long.
Okay. I'm going to go opposite direction. I'm going to say Jake Long because like it was, in my opinion, and I think there was other shows that came after this, but in my opinion, it was the last really good Disney show. So, and that kind of means something.
Also, Billy and Mandy aired quite a few years longer.
Yeah.
So for me, it also had a greater
because
amount of time.
it went 7 seasons. Jake Long went 2.
Right.
But I feel like because it was the really last good Disney show that I feel like that impact kind of lasts a little longer. Even though Billy and Mandy did go longer or whatever. But Sean, you're breaking a tie.
I have Billy and Mandy winning this one. I just think it was such a different show at the time, and it was funny and kind of cynical and dark in other aspects that it drew more attention than Jake Long did. And it also ran longer and not trying to shoot on Jake Long at all. It was a good show, but I just think more people would remember Billy and Mandy. Just because it's like it's quirky. It's something like unique to itself. It's not like just some different, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like Jake Long is kind of almost like a Kim Possible type show, and Billy and Mandy is just a standalone because there wasn't really shows about 2 kids owning a Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was just something.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I just think people were more drawn to that because it was something different at the time.
And also, too, if you think about it, now I don't know which one came out first, but Cartoon Network had their own version of Jake Long in Juniper Lee, which we covered on a earlier episode. It was
that connection.
Well, 1, JL. 2, it was a grandparent that was kind of guiding her.
Yeah.
Just like Grandpa guided Jake Long. Talking dog, although in Juniper Lee, it was a dog with a Scottish accent. And, in Jake Long, it was a dog that talked like he was born in New York City. The only difference between the two is that she was a magical master of martial arts or something. He turned into a dragon. So that was like the only difference. So Cartoon Network had its own version of Jake Long.
Yeah.
So, all right, but Billy and Mandy are going to win this thing 3-1. So 20 points goes to the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Jake Long does not get swept, but they don't get any points. Now we move on to Jimmy Neutron versus the Mummy animated series. Jimmy Neutron in the division of Liam Jolly. The Mummy animated series in the division of Sharon Wander, who happens to be my aunt. So, alrighty. Theme song is the first category. Again, the Mummy was more of an intro. Jimmy Neutron was a song. We've kind of each stated before how we feel about what our preferences are. Personally, me, I went with what did I go with here? Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. I went with Jimmy Neutron because it is more of a song. Dave?
Yeah, I went with Jimmy Neutron here. I thought it was better. It was a song. I don't really like the Mummy's intro too much.
Okay.
Jimmy Neutron's song, I think, hits home.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the good old days. I grew up watching this show, and yeah, I remember this theme song, and it just brought back good memories.
Beautiful. All right, Sean, go ahead.
I also had Jimmy Neutron winning this one. I think the theme song is amazing. In a way, catchy too. In a way,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
but it's just so well done. I think it sets up the show and the premise of the show really well. It gives you a little insight of the show. So,
All right. So now we go to humor. And, which show made you laugh more? I feel like it was two very different shows. Sean, you're going to go first.
again, I went with Jimmy Neutron. I like his how Jimmy is kind of sarcastic, kind of narcissistic because he's so smart. But then you have like Shane's over excitement and like just
Carl.
eager to go, and then Carl's like the shy little
Weezer.
the Weezer. But then like he has moments where he will be like spontaneous,
Uh-huh.
and then the girl, I can't remember her name now. Cindy, I think it's Cindy, the blonde-headed girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The connection I made with those two, like, it's almost like watching Helga and Arnold from Hey Arnold
Yeah.
with those two, and I just love that connection between them. So I went with Jimmy Neutron here.
All right. Dave?
Yeah, I went with Jimmy Neutron for humor as well. I really like the connection the characters have between each other, and it feels like a real friend group and whatnot. And the teacher screaming "Carl" and stuff like that was Mrs. Howell. That would crack me up. So yeah, I got to give it to Jimmy Neutron.
Shane.
All right. I also went with Jimmy Neutron because the Mummy to me just seemed a little bit more like there was like a little bit of dry humor in there, but it just seemed more serious.
Oh, for sure.
So, all right, Jimmy Neutron's up 2-0. We're one category away from a sweep. Animation style is up next. I'm going to go first on this one because I went with the Mummy because, again, it's that classic animation. Jimmy Neutron is computer animated. It's not that I hate computer animation. It's just I would much rather my cartoons or my animated shows to be cartoony.
Yeah.
All right. I like that hand-drawn animation. So the Mummy, even though it might be the only vote it gets here, I'm going with it. Sean?
I'd pick Jimmy Neutron. I just think for an earlier computer animation cartoon, it got knocked out of the park. Very clean, very good with attention to detail. They kind of kept it original. Nothing was like out of the ordinary when it came to like the character's design.
Yeah. No, it was
in the movie. The movie was beautiful.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh, I love the movie.
The movie was done so well. The Mummy to me, it's not bad. I don't think it could stand up to Jimmy Neutron being in the same year. You know what I mean? Like one.
Well, yeah, because they came out the same year.
Yeah, and I just think, 2001, the computer animations weren't as great as they are today, but for the time being, it was very well done.
Oh, I'm not saying it wasn't very well done. I'm just saying, like, I prefer what I prefer.
Oh no, I got you. I got you. The Mummy wasn't bad at all. I don't think to me, it just doesn't stand up to par.
Right. All right, Dave, you're breaking the tie.
This one's kind of hard because you got two different animation styles. You got one that's computer generated imagery, and you got one that's traditional hand drawn 2D animation. And while they're both great, I think it's more difficult to draw it. So for the talent that it takes and the time that it takes to draw it, I feel like I got to give it to the Mummy here.
All right. So the Mummy avoids the sweep. So all right. So right now it's 2-1. Cultural impact is the next category. Who had the bigger cultural impact? By the way, both of these shows are coming off of movies. Jimmy Neutron was the movie, I think, before it was the show. The Mummy was a live action movie before it was an animated series. Who had the bigger cultural impact? Dave, I'm starting with you.
I think Jimmy Neutron had the bigger impact here. I mean, it's a recognizable part of Nickelodeon's legacy. It's one of the big shows that I think helped build Nickelodeon, and I think it was stellar. I mean, I loved this show growing up. I grew up on the show, and between the two, I preferred to watch Jimmy Neutron. So I feel like, it's got award. It got some awards. It's got the award for the movie as well. So I think it has a little bit more of an impact here.
Okay. Sean, go ahead.
I went with the Mummy. I think Jimmy Neutron only impacted like a certain age group of kids, maybe young adults, and I think the Mummy kind of hit all aspects from kids to adults, just being like more of like a archaeologist type show, which kind of impacted maybe kids going towards a historical field or getting them into something that's not just a fictional cartoon.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
It does. And
it sounded so much better in my head than I said it. And
yeah. Don't worry. You didn't
air it. I just think at the time, like, you didn't see much archaeology shows, kind of like how the Mummy kind of is.
Not archaeological cartoons.
No, not cartoons, but obviously you had the movies.
Yeah. Not archaeological cartoons. Like you had like, when Goosebumps was a show, they did a episode on the book the Mummy, or the Mummy Returns, or no, Curse and a Mummy. I hate the damn book. Why can't I think of the name?
Well, as long as you two understand what I was trying to say.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Like have it perfectly in my head. And
yeah.
By
the way, you're cutting in and out.
Yeah, I just think it led to more like it hit more of like a historian base.
Yeah.
Even though it is fictional, but it's still, historian.
Yeah, and you got to remember too, the movie was not geared towards kids. It wasn't even geared towards families.
No.
Okay. So to take that and turn it into a cartoon, which I actually think is a very good cartoon. All right. I actually enjoyed the show. Now, my vote for cultural impact is going to Jimmy Neutron because of it being really geared more towards kids and kids and families, to where like the Mummy animated series is like, oh, okay, cool. You have a Mummy show. It's based off a movie, but I know you have little kids or, kids 8-9 years old going, Mom, Dad, was I allowed to watch that movie? And like, so it was kind of harder to like really get that audience in for the Mummy. Even though, yes, it's a good show, but there's a lot of shows that are good that had trouble getting an audience, because there's other shows out there that people prefer. I think kids and families prefer Jimmy Neutron more, which is why I'm going with it. I understand what you're saying, and I do agree with you on the standpoint, because I was a fan of that show. But I'm giving it to Jimmy Neutron here, so Jimmy Neutron's going to win 3-1. So it's not going to be a sweep. But Jimmy Neutron is getting 20 points. And the Mummy was not swept, but the Mummy gets no points out of this. All right, this one, I don't know if it's going to be what arguments we can make here for one of these shows. It is Naruto Next Generations versus Men in Black, the animated series. Baruto in the division of Kevin Johnson, who is my sister's fiance. And Men in Black, the animated series, in the division of John Mealy. Theme song is the first category. I'm going to go first on this one because I'm going to say, and I know like I criticize Naruto. And I don't even know if I criticize it. I just said I wasn't a fan of Naruto Shippuden's theme song when we did that.
Well, you said you didn't like how they changed it up over the seasons.
Yeah, because they had a really good one and then they changed it into something I didn't like.
But I'm telling you, once you get a little farther, Bluebird comes in like the next season or something, and that's a banger too.
Yeah.
Like I get it. Like you don't like how they change it up for the seasons. I understand that.
But Baruto had a pretty decent song.
Yeah, it did.
Men in Black, if they would have used what they used for the outro song for the intro music, it would have gotten my vote because it was the Men in Black song. But they used something a little more generic that I did not like. So I'm starting this off by saying, hold on, I got to make sure that I wrote it down this way. But I'm starting it off by saying that Baruto had the better theme song. Sean, you're up.
No, I agree. I think Baruto was a lot better than the Men in Black. If they would have kept it, like you said, if Men in Black would have kept it to the same, in a sense, I would have went with them.
Yeah, if they would have used now obviously they probably wouldn't have been able to use like the actual like song, but just use the music, and it would have been a lot better because then it would feel like Men in Black. Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, I went with Boruto here. I genuinely like the song.
Yeah. So humor is the next category. And which one made you laugh more? Dave, we're starting with you.
I went with Men in Black here. Boruto, I mean, it has some moments where it can be kind of humorous, but it's far and few in between. I feel like Men in Black had a little more humor in it.
Yeah. All right, Sean, go ahead.
I also agree. I think Men in Black just had the better humor. The quirky little jokes, the little quick jokes, just all around better, in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree. I also went Men in Black. I didn't. Boruto had, like Dave said, had funny moments, but I don't feel like it was in every episode. Men in Black, I do feel like that they tried to make you laugh at least once every episode. So we're tied 1-1. Animation's the next category. Who had the better animation? Men in Black, obviously. Cartoon. I believe it was developed by Warner Brothers because it aired on Kids WB. Boruto's an anime. We know where it comes from. We know what it's based off of. But Dave, I'm going to let you start.
Yeah, I think the animation on Boruto takes the cake for this category. Its fight scenes are pretty crazy with some of the animations that they have are pretty insane. With the abilities that these people can use, and it takes a lot of time to be able to do all that. And also, like, you got a guy that can use like clone jutsu, so like Boruto, you see him replicate himself with clones, so you got to make a bunch of him. You also have his father Naruto in the show, and so you still got to make the animations for them and still make them appear like the Hokage and stuff. So the detail for the village and stuff like that, and going to different villages. It's so detailed, and the detail in the animation is amazing.
Okay. Sean?
No, I agree. I think Baruto takes the cake on this one.
Yeah.
It's so much better. Obviously, it's got, the newer gen type stuff that Men in Black didn't have, but I mean, Baruto is what can I really say? It's just a very well done animation.
Yeah. Baruto doesn't just take the cake, it takes the whole damn dessert tray. I also went with Baruto on this one. And it's funny because, like, I've heard from people, it's just like, oh, Baruto, not as good as Naruto. A lot of people say they didn't like it. Considering
they don't. A lot of these people, they don't like it because they love Naruto.
Yeah.
They want Naruto. They wanted, more of him, and they don't want to leave him behind. That's what it is. I feel like Boruto, like, it's decent. It's decent. If people give it a shot, it's decent, and it has really good animation.
Yeah. Well, I think I have it winning the majority of the categories that we have here. Cultural impact is next. Now, Baruto can win the matchup in this category. Cultural impact. Who had the bigger cultural impact? I really feel like we already know the answer. So
Can I go first?
I mean, yeah.
I went with Men in Black here.
Really?
Yeah. I think Men in Black, the animated series, helped build the legacy of its franchise, where Boruto's impact was already defined by its relationship with Naruto's. So whatever Boruto's impact is, its impact comes from Naruto. It doesn't come from Boruto.
You know what's funny? That's why I gave the character to Baruto, or the category to Baruto, because the impact of Naruto.
Fair.
So, because I feel like the Men in Black animated series, especially, like, I didn't like it. I liked the movies.
Yeah.
The animated series was just okay.
Yeah, it was just all right. It was mid.
So I feel like there's a bigger cultural impact with the Naruto franchise, which Baruto is a part of. So that's why, and we're in the freaking Twilight Zone right now because you picked the cartoon, I picked the anime.
Yeah.
What in the hell is going on here? Oh, yeah, and by the way, Sean, you got to break the tie.
I just felt like, like Boruto inherited the legacy. That's all.
See, I went with Baruto because I think it just increased its impact. In my opinion. I think it just added to it. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Like, I don't think you're wrong with, like, when you say Men in Black set up the series. I think you are right on that one. Naruto in itself is already so big that anything I think they added to follow it will just increase its legacy even further. Yeah. Especially if they keep it as good as they are or have. Yeah. If they don't change much.
If they don't butcher it.
Yeah, I mean, they can only make it better, I think, but they can easily make it worse. So, but I gave it to Baruto.
So this is a different change of pace. Last week, Sean and I we're on the opposite side of Dave, and Dave was looking at Craigslist to try to get us replaced. This week, we went opposite of Dave, but Dave's okay with that because that means the anime wins.
Yep.
So, all right, so Baruto wins this 3-1. They're going to get 20 points. Men in Black will get none. Oh, we are heading into familiar territory because we are at the 35-minute mark, and we have one match left to go, and it is Naruto versus Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, when a few weeks ago, as a matter of fact, I believe it was our third episode of this particular show, Naruto Shippuden the cousin of Naruto. Well, not actual cousin; it's regular Naruto, but the shows are related. Took on the Simpsons. We were at the exact same time stamp that we're at right now, and the battle went 40 minutes. I don't know if it's going to go this way. I could see Dave's heart bumping out of his chest right now.
A little bit. I like these shows a lot right here.
Yeah. So we're going to go theme song first. That is what we are opening up with. And I'm going to go first. I went with Naruto. I think it just had the better theme song. Because to me, it sounded like an American song, but it was being done in Japanese. And I just liked the beat.
Did you like how they changed it up for the seasons?
Yeah. So I enjoyed it. So therefore, Naruto gets the vote on this one. Dave.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. I like Naruto's theme songs. I literally listen to them. Their OSTs all the time. I have them saved in my phone. So I literally play them when I'm just chilling sometimes. So no, I really enjoy their intros that they have. So their theme songs are bangers.
All right. Just so you know, Sean, you sounded like Mr. Ed. Go ahead.
So this is the part of the show where I just crap on Naruto just to spite Dave. But I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. I went with Naruto. I just like their intros are always different, and I think that's just very impressive. I missed him again.
Jesus. I'm trying to kill that thing for an hour.
I've been trying to kill it for weeks. What do you mean?
I've only seen you trying to do it for an hour. We're actually going on 2 hours now. All right. Humor is the next category. So which one made you laugh more?
Make an N. That doesn't look right. I can't make an N.
Yeah. All right. Dave, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, I went with Naruto here. Because of a couple of reasons. You got Jiraiya, which is one of Naruto senseis. He's hilarious. He's kind of perverted. So I think that his character, Naruto calls him Pervy Sage, and he's a legendary Sannin, and everyone's like, yo, you're calling him that? Like, what? So I thought that was funny. Kakashi's 1,000 Years of Death, when, he first meets the Naruto, Sasuke, and they're doing the training to see if they're going to make it. And he hits Naruto with 1,000 Years of Death. I thought that was hilarious. If you don't know what that is, you got to watch that. And then, you got some funny moments with Rock Lee. He gets intoxicated and he's doing the drunken fist, which is hilarious. I thought that was great. You got some good moments in here. So I picked Naruto.
All right. From what I could see, because apparently I did that, I wrote this matchup in looks like light pink pen, and apparently that does not translate well at night. I can't even see the damn thing. But from what I remember, what I could kind of make out, I went with Jujutsu Kaisen, and the reason why I went with that is because I find Naruto very annoying. Like that, he annoys me, and I'll leave it at that. So a lot of the humor that may have come off of there, it was just kind of whatever. I did laugh a lot in the Jujutsu Kaisen scenes. So I'm going with Jujutsu Kaisen on this one. And Sean, you're going to break the tie.
I got him.
Good.
Naruto. I think him, the annoyance of some of the characters is what makes the show funnier to me.
Fair enough.
And plus, I need to stay on Dave's good graces.
And Shikamaru, I love his nonchalance. What a drag! Everything's a drag for him. He just wants to sit and stare at the clouds.
To me,
always got to do
Jujutsu Kaisen's a little more serious in a sense.
It's serious, but there are some like funny moments in there.
There
and,
are.
like,
Yeah,
Oh,
there are.
100%.
yeah.
But I just think Naruto just has like that complexity of like quirky humor to dark humor.
Yeah.
Or over sexualized humor. So
Sexy
All right.
transformation jutsu.
So Naruto can win it here in this next category. By the way, I forgot to mention Jujutsu Kaisen in the division of Sean's mommy, Bonnie Fedcheck, and Naruto in the division of Jordan Zavala.
I voted against my mom. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Well, she's
I'm
already disagreed with a lot of your.
I'm grounded.
Yeah. Maybe if I would have mentioned that at the beginning of the matchup, things would have been a little different. But
I think you told me before we even started the show, and I already forgot. So
yeah, it happens. All right, animation's the next category. Naruto can win it here. I went with Jujutsu Kaisen on this one. I just felt like their animation was a little cleaner. I mean, I think that's what I have written down. I can't read it, but I mean, that's what I remember writing down. Sean, you're up.
I also had Jujutsu Kaisen. I like the animation a lot better. I think it was more dimensional, a lot cleaner. I like some of the darker scenes, and yeah, just all in general, I just like Jujutsu Kaisen a little more.
Okay. Dave?
Yeah, JJK all the way. It's definitely has superior animation over Naruto. It's made, decades apart. So JJK has newer animation style and more up to date animation style. So I think it takes this one.
Yeah. All right. So they're not going to get swept. So your mother's not losing points on this one. Cultural impact is the next category. I don't think I need to know what I wrote on that one. I'm pretty sure I know what I did. Because to me, it's kind of like it's a no-brainer, but I don't want to go first. I'll let the guy.
Make Sean go first.
All right, Sean, you're gonna go first.
I wanted to go like last.
Fine, I'll go first.
No, I'll go first because I already know how you guys are gonna vote. I'm going with Naruto. If I went last, I was gonna make this go to fan base, but I can't diss Naruto.
Yeah. Dave, you're up.
Yeah, this is Naruto all the way. I think it has a way more significant impact than JJK does.
For sure.
So, and on a lot of levels, I like JJK better, but you can't discredit everything Naruto has, meant to the anime community. It's called one of the big three for a reason.
Yep.
Now, so I went with Naruto. Now, JJK, like I said, it's better in a lot of other ways, but as far as cultural impact goes, because Naruto's been around longer, it's had to be.
Yep. Over 250 million mangas sold.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So they're going to win at 3-1. Every battle tonight ended at 3-1. Nothing was a sweep. Nothing went 3-2. Everything ended tonight at 3-1.
What's kind of crazy.
So Naruto got a victory over Jujutsu Kaisen. Boruto beat Men in Black. Jimmy Neutron beat the Mummy animated series. And the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy defeated American Dragon Jake Long. So that, of course, does it for this week's battles. We ended it a lot earlier than I thought we were gonna. I I thought this thing was going to go a little while longer.
I feel like if it was some different categories, it would have. It's just the categories that were picked
You know,
in the order of them.
yeah. You know what's funny is the fact that like and I feel like we do this a lot, and there is a lot of truth to this. So I feel like we try to pin it more on the categories than we do us, so nobody gets mad at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Could be.
it really is the categories, because I feel like if it were different categories, it would go a different way.
Oh yeah, for sure. With some of the stuff, yeah.
Like, and people say, well, you're the one that controls a randomizer. I push the button. All right. I don't flip it upside down in a hat and pull it out. I push a button and the computer randomly generates it. So the way these categories are picked, like there were certain categories I wanted on the last show that I didn't get.
Yep. How it always goes.
Yeah. So, all right, this upcoming Saturday on Animated Hour Power, the matchups will be. Let's see if I can pull it back up here. We are going to have Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog versus Code Geass. So, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, that was their first attempt at a Sonic cartoon. Didn't really go so well, so that's when they went to Sonic Sat AM.
Okay.
But so there is a difference. But Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog versus Code Geass. Chalk Zone versus Legend of Tarzan. New Kids on the Block versus Mr. Bean animated series. And the main event will be Futurama versus the Looney Tunes. Animated Showdown next Wednesday afternoon will be The Promised Neverland versus Dan Da Dan. Recess versus Codename Kids Next Door. Hong Kong Phooey versus Gravedale High. Another one where we're just going to be like, oh my God, where we have to pick a winner. And the main event will be Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids versus Schoolhouse Rock.
Ooh.
So
It's not bad. It's a good one.
Your mother's going to be the main event 2 weeks in a row. So, all right. So make sure to like and subscribe to the When Tunes Combine YouTube channel. And join the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/When Tunes Combine. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to the Wrestling Through the Years podcast. Big episode this upcoming Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're gonna review the Global Wrestling Federation, the very first year, or like the first 6 months. So July of 91 through December of 91, may even go into 92 a little bit. And I'm going to be joined by Rod Price, Craig Johnson, Scott Hudson, James Beard, maybe a couple more if they can answer the phone, or answer my text messages. We got that coming up. Also, make sure to join the Dizzle 97 Gaming Universe, the YouTube channel. They haven't really been, it's been more pulling packs of sports cards, UFC cards, Pokemon cards. They did some DC cards the other day. So look out for that on YouTube and Twitch. The Unscripted Sports Show with Eric when he's back from Australia. Catch Sean on TCX Reaper on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. Wildcard Dave on Twitch at TCX Godsend 95. And also catch the Stabcast with Dangle and Mindy, which usually airs on Sundays. And we will see everybody this Saturday.
Have a great day.
All right.